Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I can change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win in life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel?
How's it supposed to feel?
How's it supposed to feel? They wanna say my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on the shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, I've got an hour this morning. I had planned to spend much longer streaming today, including with Timmy, but I have to babysit in 1 hour. So, yeah, it's going to be another day now. Dr. Malouf said, in Germany, a Syrian refugee polygamous family is causing outrage. Ahmad lives with his 2 wives and 6 children in a free house. He says he's looking for 2 more wives and wants to have 20 children. He's illiterate, does not work, and says his only goal is to have as many children to make Germany more Muslim. And if you don't think this is what they're doing, they do this and they have sometimes 4 or 5 wives. And here in Australia, they're allowed to, and they get paid for it from people's taxpayer money. Great. Okay, Paul A. Zapula said Antifa thug outside of the Portland ice facility assaulted journalist Cam Higby and ruined his property on Friday. During the fight, the thug got demasked. He cowered in fear as his identity was revealed, as they do. Today, the thug got arrested by Portland police, charged him as a terrorist. Apparently, Portland's getting cleaned right up too. And this bad idea. Wall Street Ape said new shopping carts will eliminate cashier jobs in America. You don't need to eliminate cashier jobs. With these shopping carts, you'll scan all your items as you shop, put them in the cart. It even has a scale for fruits and vegetables. Once done, you complete payment on the cart. It shows it even accepts EBT food stamps. Wow. And there's a whole lot of panic about food stamps at the moment, but I believe it's mostly illegals and people who are able-bodied getting kicked off, people who are gaming the system. I believe people who are genuinely in need will probably still get them. Craig Kelly, Foundation for Economic Something or Other. The Climate Council just spread lies. They're funded by grift rent seekers who need to deceive the Australian people to keep their gravy train full of subsidies flowing. The data's clear. Flood disasters were far worse and more frequent in the past. And the idea that government can protect us from bad weather, like these people are seriously cooked. In 1955, this was flooding in Maitland. Look at Maitland now. Wow. Okay, we had worse floods before, but I'd like to see a recent flood. Don't they have any pictures? No, maybe not. Anyways, in response to this, the Climate Council says 1 in 6 Aussie homes is at risk of flooding. The government can do more to protect us from the impacts of climate change. Exactly how they're going to do that? Can you answer me that question, Climate Council? Starting with urgently cutting our climate pollution. Oh, my God. China makes as much as Australians do in a year, the pollution, in like 10 days, okay? What is our little bit going to do? And it's a scam anyway. This is our best bet to protect our homes from worsening extreme weather events like flooding, rains and storms. There is a poem in Australia. I love a sunburnt country, a land of sweeping plains, of rugged mountain ranges, of drought and flooding rains. Shit happens, mate. Just don't build in flood zone areas. But that's what councils do. They allow all that on the side of mountains. And I don't know. I don't think I'd allow that because, well, then again, if you really want to tempt your fate, I mean, if the mountain gives way, you're going down the mountain and in your house. Your house is going down with it. Oh, dear. Deport foreign criminals, said 2-year... Oh, no. This is a bad one. A 2-year-old child was assaulted really badly, right? Foreign used Viagra and filmed it all. Oh, my God. It doesn't get much worse than this. After winning the trust of the 2-year-old child's mother, be careful who you trust when you've got children, he took Viagra and raped her when he was supposed to be looking after her. The child's eerily silent and compliant demeanour throughout the footage, described as exceptionally graphic by the judge, has sparked suspicions she was groomed and doped with drugs Okech had access to at work, 5 months after December 13, 2013 attack, Okech asked to babysit the child again and subjected her to an even worse ordeal. Judge, her almost total silence throughout all this is the most marked and grotesque aspect. You moved her around in different positions as though she was a doll rather than a human child. Your offence was only discovered because of suspicions of an entirely blameless woman. Jeremy Okech, I didn't need Viagra the second time. 15 effing years for this. Kill him. Look, millstone. Seriously, I'm serious. Tie a millstone around his neck, make sure he cannot undo it, and chuck him in the ocean. Seriously. These people, you can't fix this. This is not rehabilitatable. This is, oh my God, make me sick. Okay, got to get over that one. Lisa said, make no mistake, even the weather is being weaponised against you. The new Bureau of Meteorology here in Australia, BOM we call it, appropriately named website, is case in point. It cost us taxpayers $866 million and counting. So what did we get? Apparently an upgrade of the Bureau's infrastructure, security, reliability and, wait for it, forecasting capabilities. The reality? It's a complete mess with no functioning radar now. Farmers, tradies, in fact anyone who does anything outside rely on the BOM now have no possibility of forward planning, including flight. Airports and flight schools and flight places need this. They need to know what the weather is before they take off, and they use the BOM. The BOM is symbolic of Labor's reckless dismantling of public services and twisted dissemination of information to suit their narratives. Veritas Fox said, what the fuck happened to the bomb radar? It literally went backwards 20 years ago. Is this what it looks like now? Oh, dear God. Hang on, give me a second because I want to see if Weather Zone and the rest of the... Oh, there it is. Have they still got a radar? Oh, they still have a radar on satellite? Okay. This is what a radar should look like. I used to use the Weather Channel. They had worldwide radars, right? And I used to use them. Well, now, apparently, if you look up the BOM, it's got nothing like this anymore. We're about to have a cold spell, by the way. See all that stuff coming up from the south? Antarctica's down here. So we're about to get mighty cold all of a sudden. Okay. Anywho, this is what it looks like now. Bureau of Meteorology one. And like I said, flight schools, flights, anywhere that planes take off, need that radar. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Just look up and be aware. Shanaka Anselm Pereira said October the 26th, 2025, the day America became an empire. While you watch TikTok, the United States just executed the greatest economic coup in human history. China controls 80% of rare earth processing, the neurons of every weapon system, smartphone and AI server on planet Earth. One element, neodymium. Without it, F-35, sorry, where to get 13 from? F-35s don't fly, Teslas don't move, and data centres go dark. Trump threatened to destroy $300 billion in Chinese exports with 100% tariffs. Beijing responded by threatening to choke the global technology supply chain. Then something impossible happened, a 72-hour checkmate. October 24th, Malaysia signs Mineral Pact. October 25th, Thailand signs processing deal. And October 26th, framework announced, China blinks. Hidden in the fine print, $13 billion Australian rare earth processing, Cambodia extraction rights, Japan's 2010 playbook, which cut Chinese dependency 30%, now deployed across $350 billion in American AI infrastructure. That number that ends globalisation. US-China trade, $758 billion 2018 to $578 billion in 2024. That $180 billion didn't vanish. It relocated to nations that bend the knee. ASEAN trade up 20%, Chinese rare earth market share dropping for the first time in 30 years. American supply chains rerouting in real time while Beijing realises the trap. Here's what they're not telling you. This isn't trade negotiation, it's tribute collection. Trump just converted the world's largest consumer market from a trade partner into a weapon. Every nation now faces a choice, access to American markets or access to Chinese supply chains. Not both, ever again. The $20 billion soybean freeze, first since 2018, isn't retaliation, it's a demonstration. China can inflict pain. America can inflict extinction. The pattern that broke reality. 17 times since 2018. 17. Identical playbook, announce apocalyptic tariffs, markets crater, China retaliates, then exemptions appear for allies, pressuring multiples on Beijing. 63% of Chinese goods face maximum tariffs, allied nations 4%. Every chaotic threat was a calculated bid, every impulsive tweet moved supply chains, every trade war headline masked the systematic dismantling of Chinese technological sovereignty. What happens next? November the 1st, Xi meets Trump at APEC. The deal is already done, rare earth access for tariff relief, American boots on Asian rare earth facilities, China gets to save face. America gets the future. Taiwan, AI dominance, technological independence and the end of competitive multipolarity, all bundled into a trade framework the media will call a truce. The truth? Globalisation didn't collapse, it was conquered. Very, very interesting. Okay. Svetlana Lokhova said Hillary is in deep trouble. She has no immunity and started the whole anti-Trump conspiracy to try and steal the 2016 election. Every step is documented, from the recruitment of the FBI sources, Steph Halper and Chris Steele, to start the FBI investigation, to the media campaign and the pressure on Obama White House. Everything hinges on evidence of intent. That's where the Hillary plan documents and the Durham Annex showing the criminal enterprise between Hillary and Soros comes into play. That's why these documents were hidden and were going to be destroyed. See Russiagate Burns Bags case, which I reported on months ago, where they were burning bags. Will Hillary and Obama finally be brought to justice? It depends on whether the investigations will be able to turn some of the co-conspirators against them. The documents are clear. Hillary ordered anti-Trump operations as part of the Hillary plan. After the 2016 election, Obama took over the anti-Trump ops and ordered the fabrication of the intelligence community assessment. The witnesses at the crucial meetings in July, August 2016 and December 2016, January 17, Clapper, Comey and Brennan are going to have to give evidence against Hillary and Obama for the prosecutions to succeed. Brennan is definitely not cooperating, at least for the moment. He's on TV all the time saying so, but it does not matter too much because no one would believe him anyway. Clapper's probably cooperating. He's gone very quiet after he announced on TV that he lawyered up. The key one is Comey. He's a relatively respected figure. The jury will take his evidence against Hillary and Obama very seriously. That's why he's now going to be hit with one indictment after another. At the moment, the deep state's protecting him, but will he crack under financial and family pressure, especially if he knows Clapper is cooperating against him? What about McCabe? And what if Obama gives him up? Comey has a lot to think about. The prosecutors are going to ratchet the pressure on him. Comey's hearing, hopefully, starts 1 week before the grand jury begins in Florida to investigate the grand conspiracy. Comey's time is running out. Let's hope so. Okay, Bile Holt said after a century of begging for money for cancer research, today's headline reads, more young women are being diagnosed with breast cancer. Billions upon billions of dollars poured into pink ribbons, charity walks and heartfelt celebrity appeals. Please do not buy these stupid pink ribbons. Please don't do it. It doesn't help anyone. It's not going... If we haven't noticed yet, all these donations that we give to the cancer foundations, where's the cures? None of it seems to be helping. Throwing money at a problem doesn't fix it, okay? I've said this before, I'll say it again. It doesn't fix it, okay? We've got to get to the bottom of this, and surely there's people out there looking, including Dr. Tim Eyre, okay? Yet zero results, zero cures. Funny that, isn't it? National Cancer Institute in the US government agency that funds and coordinates most cancer research in the country. The NCI's budget for fiscal year 2025 is approximately $7.22 billion, consistent with the previous year. A significant portion of that budget goes to extramural research grants to universities, medical schools, hospitals and other research institutions. They started doing this 90 years ago, still no cures. And the American Cancer Society raises money for research, funds grants and supports patient programs. At last reporting, the ACS made $720 million? Yeah, 126,000 in 2023, 514 million from contributions, 112 million from special events and 52 million from investment income. Their total assets were about 1.81 billion. What good did all that money do? Because to date, there's still no cures for anything. And so women continue to die. My Aunt Vivian died from lung cancer in 1982. My Aunt Barbara died from lung cancer in 1984. My mother died from brain cancer that spread to her lungs in 1989. So all this to say, why are we still participating in the ACS charade when no one we know ever gets cured? Maybe the real cancer is a global industry. It keeps promising a breakthrough that never comes. I remember back in the 1990s when I was at home with my babies, as babies, I remember seeing on TV, in 5 years they're going to have the cure for skin cancer. We just have to wait 5 years for these tests to be done. And we never heard anything ever again. Funny that, they keep doing it. Just pay attention, guys. Pay attention when they say these things. And then wait and see 5 years later. It never happens. Duchess of Exeter said, love this, every school has a breaking point, and one high school in Queensland, Australia, has finally hit theirs in the most spectacular way. The staff at Maroochydore High School has grown tired of endless complaints from parents, late homework, missing assignments, unexplained absences, and somehow it was always the teacher's fault. So instead of sending another politely worded newsletter that no one would read anyway, they decided to make a bold statement. They changed the school's voicemail. And let's just say it wasn't your average please leave a message after the beep. It all started after the school introduced a new policy. Both students and parents would be held accountable for attendance and homework. Reasonable, right? But a handful of parents lost it. Some even threatened to sue because their kids were failing after skipping weeks of classes. So the staff decided to respond with humour and brutal honesty. Here's what callers heard when they dialed in. Ring, click. Hello, you've reached the automated answering service for your school. Please listen carefully to the following options. Press 1 if you'd like to lie about why your child is absent. Press 2 to make excuses for missing homework. Press 3 to complain about how we do our jobs. Press 4 if you'd like to yell or swear at our staff. Press 5 if you missed every single newsletter and notice we sent home. Press 6 if you expect us to raise your child for you. Press 7 if you're tempted to reach through the phone and slap someone. Press 8 if this is your third request for a new teacher this year. Press 9 to complain about bus schedules. Press 0 to complain about cafeteria food. And finally, if you've realised this is the real world where your child's effort determines their success, and that is not the teacher's fault, please hang up and have a wonderful day. Oh, and for service in another language, please move to a country that speaks it. Thank you for supporting public education. That was savage, brilliant and honest. Now that's how you handle unreasonable parents with style. Yeah, I don't know what people are expecting from the school. Like, you don't want the school raising your children, okay? This one is one that I wanted to keep for talking to Tim about. So I'm going to put it in a medical folder. We're also going to talk about what hormone medication and antipsychotic medication and antidepressants might do to someone's brain. Okay. That's another thing I wanted to get into because of these trans people tending to be a little bit violent. Yeah, like it is a mental condition. And are they already on antidepressants or antipsychotics and then happen to get given any hormones? Because that's not going to go down well. It's called synergy, the way things work together. Pippa B said Greek citizens are holding pork barbecues in public spaces to protest the Muslim invasion of our country. I don't approve of this, with a little smiley face, yeah. Protesters in Divada, Greece, hold a public pork barbecue. We need to get out in our streets and hold pork barbecues. Go the Greek. To protest the migrant invasion happening in their town. Yeah, and then get like fans and blow the smoke their way, you know. Looks pretty good to me. Lots of bacon. Get lots of bacon happening. Bacon and eggs. Good brekkie with sausages. Pork sausages too. Okay, Nick Shirley said Antifa's been dismantled in Portland. After 140 days of controlling and camping on the street in Portland, Antifa's officially been cleared out as the police finally step in and cleared the encampment. Inside the encampment, they had loads full of medicine, medical gear, party supplies, a fridge, barbecue, etc. Antifa's 140 days of control has officially come to an end. There you go, in Portland. They had food, medicines, all sorts of medical gear. Wow. Yeah, very well funded, I believe, you know. Where's Soros and his son? Okay, Kobe Thatcher said it doesn't sound like Trump has forgiven Kevin Rudd because our Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has been lying again, telling Australians that, Trump has forgiven Albanese. Okay? Reporter said, you've patched things up with our ambassador, we're told. And Trump said, no, I don't even know anything about him. I think he said a long time ago something bad. When they say bad about me, I don't forget. Let's have a listen. Nope.
said a long time ago something bad.
Can't hear anything.
When they say bad about me, I don't forget.
Yeah, pretty much what they said here. He said no, he hasn't spoken to our ambassador at all. Okay, now we got a delusional woman. Derek Evans said, I've officially heard it all. This white liberal woman tries to compare credit cards and loans as the same type of handout as government welfare. What? You do know that when people get credit cards and loans that they pay it back, whereas if you get a handout from the government, you don't? Okay, anyway, if you've ever applied for a loan, you're applying for a handout. If you right-wingers have a credit card, you're a hypocrite, really. Let's just have a listen to this chick. Something doesn't sound right to me, anyway.
If you have a credit card and you hate people who ask for handouts, you are a person asking for a handout. A credit card is somebody else's money. Also,
you're borrowing
if you
it.
have ever applied for a loan, you were applying for a handout. So for all you right-wingers who are all, oh, stop giving people handouts. If you have a credit card, you're a hypocrite. If you have a credit card and you hate people who ask for handouts.
Oh dear. Who's going to tell her? Because I'm pretty sure when you get a loan or a credit card, you got to pay that back, love. But when you get a government handout, you don't have to pay that back. Mick Amias says this is a ghost tour. He's an anonymous Italian artist from Brescia, Italy. By day, he's an everyday professional painter. By night, he travels through the streets, repairs and repaints exterior buildings that have been tarnished by graffiti or neglected. He seeks no fame, works alone. He's been recognised by the media nationally and locally as an urban superhero as he restores walls throughout the city. Once his work is complete, he leaves a note to the owner. This is an act of urban love, or I can't read the other one. Questo e un atto d'amor urbano. Oh no, with an Aussie accent. That's really bad. I'm sorry, guys, for butchering that. But look at the good job he's doing. That is beautiful. Seriously? Because there is nice graffiti, but then there's horrible, pathetic graffiti. And writing on something I was here is just like, come on. It really deserves to be painted over. Awakened Outlaw said patterns matter. In my opinion, the measured but steadily employed operation to slowly normalise the public to what's being done as well as what's coming appears to be in full swing. This is why I expect the trend to continue even more of our major cities around the country. It makes sense not to hit the public with everything at once from a strategic standpoint. Going this route also allows federal agencies and the military to pre-position troops and equipment in major cities in a manner that doesn't alarm the public more than it has to, in preparation for unexpected disturbances on the near-event horizon. Okay? You know, the big thing that's coming. Alpha News said Secretary Kristi Noem slams Walz's anti-ICE agenda. I don't know how he sleeps at night. The former South Dakota governor said dozens of new agents and federal officers will be deployed to the Twin Cities to get these criminals and terrorists off our street. Yeah, what else is going on behind those? The National Guard being deployed, hey? You know what's happening, don't you? It is happening. The big thing, is happening. And most of us don't even know what's going on. Well, most of the normal people don't. Eric Doherty said, epic the moment President Trump notices the Malaysian dances and joins in. It's impossible not to love this. Oh, God, love him. Oh. God love him and the Malaysian people. Oh, that is so good to see. Wall Street Maverick said, Liberal, there's no need for that. We're on the same side, bruv. Muslim, no, we're not. The left really doesn't understand that they're going to be slaughtered when they have outlived their usefulness, do they? Yeah. Because it's not going to happen, mate. They'll turn on you as quick as, or they'll turn on you before everyone else, put it that way. Catherine Deves Morgan said that effing turbines aren't effing moving, waste of effing money. Wind blowing a gale, trees knocked down, turbines at a standstill. Net zero is a fever dream of coastal metro elites, because this is where it's windy as hell in Australia.
Blowing a fucking gale, trees are getting knocked down, the fucking wind turbines are fucking moving. Look at it, all of it, just sit still. Big waste of fucking money, climate change my fucking ass.
There you go. Climate change my fucking ass. Oh, no. Okay, anyway, Jessica Rogers said, what are the odds? 2 identical twin girls, 3.5 months old, perfectly healthy, 2 days after receiving oral polio, DPT and hepatitis B vax. Both developed fevers and were found lifeless that same night. Now, I'm not a doctor. Please see your doctor if pain persists, and always get advice off your doctor, but make sure it's one you trust. Autopsies, no cause of death, officially labelled simultaneous SIDS. Now, someone explain to me like I'm 5 how simultaneous SIDS happens. Funnily enough, a couple of days after receiving, things that are supposed to be good for you. This is terrible. I know 2 twins that once they got their 18-month-old shot, apparently. Yeah, they were perfectly normal till then, and then they couldn't talk anymore. They just went backwards. And to this day, they are over 18 years old. One can kind of speak, but you've got to listen carefully to what he's saying. The other one can't speak. And there's a lot of going on and waving of hands and stuff, And, mate, my heart goes out to... She's one of my best friends, honestly. It's terrible. General Mike Flynn said what few Americans understand is how deeply embedded the CIA is inside the State Department. The CIA must be reined in. And I guarantee that real Donald Trump has no idea this happened, and damn sure no US taxpayer knew our money was being used to overthrow the Brazilian government. Real Roberts said, here it is, the definition of foreign election interference. The US State Department called in massive favours and leveraged personal connections to build voting machines for Lula-aligned Brazil officials, and then the CIA warned Bolsonaro not to mess with or cast out on the new US State Department secured voting machines determining his election. Meanwhile, the CIA, who facilitated the overthrow of the US government in 2020, also overthrew the government of Brazil in 2022 for a communist. There you go. That's what they do. It's what they do. They've been doing it for years. In fact, there's a CIA office in Sydney, Australia. Yeah. Great. Why? Anyway, Awakened Outlaw said, yep, bro, nailed it. Psychotherapist reveals the politically incorrect reason why the silly No Kings rallies mostly consisted of educated white women. Video. Now a psychotherapist named Jonathan Alpert has come forward with a politically incorrect reason to explain this interesting phenomena. These women are likely suffering mental health disorders. To back up his argument, he said middle-aged educated women consume more mental health services than any other demographic group. 40-something women are probably the biggest demographic of consumers of mental health services, Alpert explained, probably 20s to 40s. Alpert added that he saw the protests as an airing of grievances as a form of group therapy. Rather than looking to change the course of events, the women were looking to find like-minded individuals with whom they could throw a tantrum with. The No Kings protests, from what I've seen in person and on TV, it seems to me like a big venting session. It's almost like a big group therapy, told Fox News. So people get stuff off their chest and they feel better in the moment, but it doesn't necessarily bring about any sort of positive change. Alpert went on to say that these people are leading boring, unhappy lives and are desperate to find a sort of outlet to express their insecurities. A lot of times people are unhappy in their own lives, he stated. They may have anxiety or anger and they project that onto others. That's partly what we're seeing play out at these rallies. Yep. Exactly. Miss Jo said, someone, please, explain this to me. The judge said that an asylum seeker from Syria must be a child because he watched cartoons and does not know how to cook or look after himself. Where are we getting these judges from? So I looked her up. Gaynor Bruce did Islamic studies at university and is former barrister for asylum seekers. Talk about biased. Judge rules migrant with receding hair was only 16. This is what they do. They call migrants who are 30, 40, 50 children. Okay? A judge has ruled that an asylum seeker who arrived in the UK on a small boat was not an adult despite having a receding hairline and grey hair. Go Britain. Yeah, the authorities are morons. The authorities in Britain and Syria said the asylum seeker was clearly an adult when he crossed the channel last year. That assessment was made on the basis of his mature physical features. An immigration asylum tribunal in London was told. However, the senior judge said that he could not be an adult because he did not know how to cook or do his laundry. Do you know how many people who are adults, white people as well, who do not know how to cook or do their laundry? The migrant who has not been identified and whose asylum status was not referred to at the hearing claimed he was 16 when he arrived in the UK. But he was said to have hairy, muscular arms, crow's feet around his eyes and wrinkles. The tribunal was told he had stubble, a deep voice and a very visible Adam's apple. Senior immigration officials at Derby City Council concluded he was significantly over the age of 18 and said he had a receding hairline with grey hair all over his head and believed he was aged between 24 and 26. The Syrian has now successfully appealed that finding. Gaynor Bruce, a upper tribunal judge of 2 decades experienced on the bench, ruled that he was 16 at the time of his arrival last year. This judge should be thrown in prison with this guy. Bruce referred to evidence that he watches cartoons, does not know how to cook or look after himself. He had to be taught to use the laundry. He said he was afraid of other residents in the migrant hotel, claiming they were noisy, took drugs, drank and smoked cigarettes. And the judge found young men typically start to develop facial hair in adolescence, but its thickness and rate of growth can vary. While that is true, I think if he's got a receding hairline and grey hair, then he might be older than 16, love. Can't you do a DNA test to find out? Jeez. Derek Evans said, my family received food stamps when I was a kid. This is back when it looked like coloured play money and they would send it in the mail. One of the family joke stories is when I was around 5, I went to the mailbox and when I saw food stamps, I ran back waving them above my head, hollering, the food stamps are here, with pure excitement. I had to say this. I say that to say this. I have no problem helping people who have fallen on hard times to get back on their feet. I have no problem helping someone who's trying to help themselves. I have no problem helping children somehow, regardless of what their parents do or don't do. But daggone it, I'm sick of seeing the widespread abuse of our welfare system. There's no reason able-bodied people shouldn't work in some way. Why is it so wrong to ask them to do community service, to say thanks to the community who's putting food on their tables and a roof over their heads? Not everyone, but why do a lot of them have nicer vehicles and go out to eat, etc., more than working people? The American people as a whole seem to be okay with what the system was originally intended to be. We're not okay with what it's become, because it's become a massive rip-off of people, people scamming it. Not it's a rip-off, but like people scamming it, people ripping it off, you know? Cat Turd said, oh, please let us see any Democrat politician or any of their fake news media propagandists who've been complaining non-stop about Trump's new ballroom step 1 foot inside the place when it's finished. If we ever see you there, we'll make sure the world knows about your hypocrisy. The truth is, I'll be begging to get into events there. And where were they all when Obama built a basketball court there? Where were they all crying over that? No. Okay, even one lefty said they were comparing it to 9/11 and you, like, come on. You've got to be freaking kidding me. But that's what they do. They throw mud at the wall and see what sticks. A sign of desperation, that is. Rob Smith said another direct lie. Albanese claimed Rudd approached Trump and said sorry for calling him a village idiot and a threat to democracy, among other insults. And Albanese said Trump forgave him and said all was forgotten. Trump was asked if this was true. Trump said it didn't happen, then said he doesn't forget. Australian pickles are sick to death of the lies. And people as well, mind you. Albanese tells Daily the bloke cannot be trusted. No. Of the lies Albanese tells Daily. Look, this man is a liar. That's all you need to know, okay? Anything that's coming out of his mouth is a lie. Brian Cates, political columnist and pundit, said 10 years ago when a certain golden-haired son of a gun came down an escalator accompanied by his beautiful supermodel wife, you know what Barack and Hillary and all the rest were thinking, right? Oh, buddy, you have no idea what you're dipping your toe into, do you? They controlled everything. Not just Washington, D.C., the Congress, the courts, the federal agencies. Oh, no. You've got to understand this. You've got to get it down. They knew how deep the roots went because they spent 100 years digging those roots deeper and deeper into the country. The evil, vast, truly international criminal syndicate, of which they are the mere US affiliate, is deeply embedded in the US down to the city and county level. The evil crime syndicate has practical control over 24 of the most important and strategic US cities. The truly evil, fully international criminal syndicate has been rigging elections and selecting the winners of the state city level offices for decades. And as the years have rolled by with the criminal syndicate in control of these states, cities, countries, they set about creating a hidden world of criminal networks for all kinds of vile activity. Drugs, prostitution, gambling, human trafficking, CSM, extortion, pay-for-play schemes, etc. It's there just beneath the surface, generating vast profits for those at the top. In case you're wondering why city leaders in places like San Fran, LA, Chicago, New York City, Baltimore, Memphis, Charlotte, etc. can't seem to get a handle on the crime infesting their cities, you can't understand why they allow it to go on and on and on, even further when it's becoming increasingly clear they could stop at any time if they really wanted to. Allow me to explain it to you. It's very simple, really. Criminals hand-selected by vast international crime syndicates to run US states, cities and counties are, by their own dark criminal nature, not particularly compelled or concerned with punishing other criminals. Oh, you thought I was going to give you some kind of convoluted political explanation? The real answer, as with most things in the real world, is spiritual. Light versus dark, good versus evil. A crime syndicate found a bunch of criminals to run your city as a criminal enterprise for them. So it's like the mob, really. So it's is it really any wonder these people have nothing but real contempt for an actual criminal justice system? A criminal syndicate infiltrated, bribed and blackmailed its way into the control of many US states and cities in order to put literal criminals in charge who know what their real job is and always has been, running the local crime syndicate affiliate and sending the required cut of the profits up the chain to the international syndicate. And due to the dark criminal nature of the kind of people that an international crime syndicate will handpick to win the local elections, these new office holders will indeed not feel particularly compelled to maintain a functional criminal justice system in their state or city, lest they be held accountable. In fact, their criminal nature, once they are in charge, will lead to their deliberately subverting and sabotaging any justice system they are given power over to control by crafting the policies for it, like judges. And this is happening in every country. This is like a worldwide criminal syndicate, okay? So now that I've established the problem Trump faced when he came down that escalator 10 years ago, back to the point I was making. Obama, Hillary, all the people running the very real spectre-like US affiliate from Washington, D.C. were very much laughing at Trump back in 2015 as he launched his benighted campaign for president. He had no idea, you see. No real idea of what he was getting into, what he was attempting to take on. Of course he would lose. Of course they would utterly destroy him. How could he ever take control of the US affiliate in Washington, D.C. away from them? Take enough control from them to even think about starting to expose and confront the international spectre-like crime syndicate affiliates that were deeply entrenched in over 25 top strategic US cities? Obama likely at the time couldn't even conceive of a possible strategy whereby, in a second term that was never supposed to happen, Trump would take enough actual practical control of the US federal government to begin uprooting and destroying the international crime syndicates, affiliates in places like New York City, Chicago, LA, etc., as well as the functional control the crime syndicate enjoys of entire states like Illinois and California from the governor's mansions. Invoke the Insurrection Act and use that to have the feds and the military literally remove the crime syndicate's carefully constructed local affiliate from power in Illinois and California. take control away from the affiliates running Chicago, Portland, LA, NYC, etc., and putting thousands of powerful people in those state, city, county offices in jail for being functional enemy agents of a hostile foreign power who've been deliberately attacking, subverting, sabotaging their own country as surreptitious and traitorous undeclared foreign agents? 10 years ago, how could anyone have even conceived of events unfolding in such a manner as to make that all possible? And yet, here we are. None shall sleep. None shall sleep. At dawn I will win. Will win. I will win. I will win. Isn't life grand? That was a pretty good one, actually. Okay, Alexandra Marshall said you can't use a VPN to get around the social media age restrictions because all the social media companies are enforcing it generically rather than geographically because it's cheaper. In other words, the whole internet is governed by the most zealous censorship legislation, which is Australia. And for that, we are deeply sorry to the world. It started here. It may have gone first in the UK, but it started here with this Karen. Okay? I am sorry to the rest of the world. Okay, Melinda Richards said, as I'm saying no to digital ID, standing up for women's rights, pushing back against the climate sham, exposing the renewables grift, exposing far-left hypocrisy and racism, celebrating the Aussie flag, criticising Anthony Albanese for taking Australia down and not taking a side between the Arabs and the Jews, I'm sure I'm making a lot of people mad. Yep, I'm not taking a side between the Arabs and the Jews. None of my business. Can't they sort it out? Hello? Anyway. And I've still got that one to do. But it is 46 minutes. I want to read some comments. So, and I've got to go, like, soon. Okay, back to the beginning. How you going, Deb? Who else have we got? Out to lunch, Kai. Raven, how you going? Charlie B, how you going? Good to see you guys. Did I say Deb? Always say Deb. Deb's always here. How you going, Deb? Good to see you. Lucette, how you going? Graceful and Trippy, how you going? Twisted Ink, how you going? David, how you going? Good to see you guys. Lucette said, I'm not... Oh, this is a different channel, Lucette. That's why. This is my original channel. You're not a moderator. Hang on a sec. Where is it? Add as moderator. Okay, there you go, Lucette. You're back as a moderator. Where's Muskrat? Hey, Paul, how you going? Cassandra, Janelle, good to see you guys. Cassandra said infiltration at its finest through forkery. Smack my head. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Dealey, how you going? Cassandra said EBT food stamps that end 2031, lol. There you go. Do they end for everyone, like, or is it just for, like... I believe people who severely, like, seriously need it will end up getting the help they need. That's what I think is going to happen, but hey, I don't know. H said, how you going? Hurts. Oh, good to see you. I haven't seen you for ages. Deb said, I was brought up never trust anyone with your children. Yeah, exactly. That's terrible. That story was one of the worst I think I've read so far. Paul said, Ireland elects far left. Oh, I saw that. In a landslide, her priority is to existential threat of climate change. Hey, Paul, how do we know, right? You know those machines? Is Ireland using them? Because didn't the US just stop all that shit? But if the rest of us are using them, then I don't believe they're legitimately elected, including Australia. Yeah, Deb said Muslim. Hurts said sick. Charlie said never build in a flood zone. I never thought about that. Common sense is no longer exercised. Yes, exactly. I mean, you just don't build in a flood zone. We have plenty of them in Australia. And they used to be well known not to build there until houses started popping up all over the place because the local councils approved it. See, this criminal syndicate has hit from local all the way to the federal level. In every country, I don't care which country you're in. any Western nation and some that aren't, like we're getting cooed all over the place. Deb said it's been very moist in Adelaide. Paul said Perth radar is the same. It sucks. Well, yeah, I think they all do on the BOM now. J1, how you going? Good to see ya. Deb said, oh no, I missed the last Rumble watch files. I'll watch it later. I was hoping to catch up today. Yes, look, we are... we will... I was going to do a Tim A call-in today on YouTube, but yeah, I've got to babysit in like 10 minutes or so. Hey, Lightworker, demons in human form, child abuser, serial brain 2, LK, Dark to Light, done a show on this about a year ago. Great info on this fight we're in, yeah. Hey, Conchega, how you going? Eric, how you going? You caught me live. Good to see ya. Oh, guys, it's good to see all you guys. Michelle, how you going? Good morning from Powerless. Where is it? Tukanu, Southland. Great to see you back, Have. Good to see you too, Michelle. Randy, how you going? Guys, good to see all you guys. Yeah, charity is big business, isn't it? Ah, Michelle said, hey, Deb, 5 days without power, rural Southland, New Zealand. Timmy! Susan Coleman is a scam. Scam, scam, scam. If any research is being done, it's how to make more money with treatments. Yeah. Conchega said, breast cancer is parasite infestation. The Cancer Act of 1939 makes it illegal to cure cancer. It does, Conchega. That's right. So all this time everyone's been like donating to the, the cancer research with the pink ribbons and whatever else they do, and a red nose on your car or your truck, I don't know what the hell. None of it's done, so stop. None of it's made a lick of difference, so we need to stop what we're doing. And how you going, Timmy? It's good to see you. I'm sorry about this morning. I messaged Timmy and said, are you right to go today? And he said, yeah. And then I said, I've got to change it now because I've got to babysit. J1 said, Brennan was hiding in Austria, apparently is worried about death penalty. Oh, there you go. Janelle said, yes, it is, Deb. My eyes opened to them so long ago. Funds to go making more sick pills and peeps suffer needlessly. Definitely. Timmy said they already have the cure for it, lol. Yes, they do. Michelle said, true that, have all by design, definitely. Timmy said, I never left the naughty corner, Deb. Michelle said, they've always had the cures, Timmy. Yep. Timmy is a doctor, right? He is a psychiatrist, but he also had to do, a few years in emergency. As a doctor, as a normal doctor as well. You have to learn all of it. So it's been very good to pick Timmy's brain and have information from him as well. So Paul's asking again, Timmy, did you get my email? Susan said, hi all, hi Hev, I love your disclaimer with even if it is, lol. Yeah, exactly. It's all theory, even if it's true, so there you go. Eric said, Timmy, in the 1943 or 46 medical manual, Charlie B said, cancer's too profitable to cure. Stop eating processed foods and we can starve Big Pharma. Yeah, it's not just the processed foods. There's all kinds of stuff that you can treat it with. But, hey, I'm not a doctor. Go see your doctor if pain persists. I have to say that because of YouTube. And preferably if you can see Dr. Timmy, would be even better. Deb said, what kind of message do you have on business, Timmy? Hurts is laughing. Timmy said, since roughly 1933 officially. Joseph, how you going? Carol, how you going? Good Lord, it's Hev. Used to follow you at the beginning of COVID. Nice to hear you back. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. I don't know what they're playing at, but I'm happy to be here. If everyone can hit the like button, thank you guys. I appreciate that. Michelle said, great mix. Timo said, menopause meds extracted from lactating horses have. What? I've got to get you on. We've got to arrange a times, Timo. When are you free next? I'll have to message you. Because, Yeah. J1 said beer and pot synergy. Yeah. Yeah, that doesn't go well together, I'm telling you. Well, not for me anyway. Darla, how you going? Darlene, put some pork on your fork. Yeah, get some pork on your fork. Deb said, love a good pork party. That sounds a bit rude. Oh, dear. Carol's from the UK. Janelle, yay for Portland. I remember those early days footage there. Scary stuff. Yeah, how you going, Kai? Yeah, it's great to see you all. Yankees, how you going? Good to see ya. Kai said, everyone, I'm tired from unpacking. Shaky texts. Cool, no worries. I know what it's like, Kai. I just moved myself. And I'm still unpacking. Hertz said, probably never worked in a life. Kai said, cutting corners. Charlie said, brain cells have never worked. That's obvious. Kai said, probably about to start cooking. Tim has said, I did, Paul. Let's schedule a time to talk on the phone. I think that'd be a lot easier. I'll email a number you can text. We can schedule a talk over the phone in the near future. Lovely. Hey, going, eyes? Stop, a quick hello to Hev and all the good people. You know who you are. God love ya. Yeah, hurts, bless him. Cassandra said, oh my God, those giant eyesore wind turbines don't spin in a gale. Okay, I can just tell that Dad's just gone out. Little one's sitting out by herself on the lounge. She's probably got food in that, but I'm going to very quickly wrap it up. Tim has said, that's to say we will text our availability and plan to talk. Paul, yep. And you can, Timmy, you can text me your availability too, if that's all right. Yeah, Deb, they turn them off when windy, Cassandra. They turn those wind things off when it's too windy. Make that make sense. The maintenance required on wind turbines and the cost negates any benefit. They do. Hey, Faye, how you going? Sherry, how you going? I missed you there. And Faye, and who else have we got? I'm going to have to jump off, guys. I'm going to have to wrap it up and jump off. I don't want to leave little ones sitting there on her own. Anthony, how you going? Ripping us off the taxpayer. This is a price for allowing nations of people to come in the country and live for free these past few years. I agree. Tim said would have killed us if we ran from the mailbox yelling such things. Yeah. Okay. With that, guys, hello to everyone I've missed. And I'm sorry if I've missed you. And hopefully we'll catch up next time. But I have to go because I have a little granddaughter sitting out there on her own and I'm not willing to leave her there. Okay, guys, much love. I'll be back tomorrow. Either way, with a video or a live, I'll be back tomorrow. Much love, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.